השגריר דניאל שפירו, ברכות וברוך הבא לישראל.
תודה, אני שמח להיות פה.
אתה מתרגש לקראת תפקידך החדש?
באמת מתרגש. יש לי הזדמנות חשובה לעזור לבנות יחסים אפילו יותר חזקים וקרובים ממה שהיו בין ארצות הברית לבין מדינת.
ומאיפה אתה יודע עברית כל כך טוב?
אני למדתי גם בארצות הברית, באוניברסיטה, במחנה קיץ, וגם פה בארץ. אני הייתי סטודנט פעמיים, ופעם אני גרתי אצל משפחה ישראלית, ושם באמת למדתי לדבר.
יפה. שמעתי עוד משהו. מרחבא סעדת הספיר. كيف حالك اليوم?
أتكلم شوية عربي بس عديف الرعيون הזה באנגלית.
באנגלית. Let's do it. Okay, Mr. Ambassador. You know, most people look at U.S.-Israeli relations these days, see a train wreck. Would you agree?
No, I don't see a train wreck. I see a very strong, very fundamentally sound relationship between our two countries. The cooperation that exists between us goes on every single day at the levels of our government, at all levels of our military, between our intelligence services, and most importantly between our peoples. As I told President Peres earlier today when he received me at Beit HaNasi, the bond between us is a strategic bond indeed, between close allies and partners, but it's more than that. It's a moral bond between the peoples of two democracies.
Right.
So I see a very strong relationship.
You're being diplomatic, and that's fine. But really, the apparent mistrust between President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, is it bridgeable at all?
I think they have actually quite a strong working relationship. I've been present for all of their meetings, and President Obama has hosted Prime Minister Netanyahu in the United States more than any other world leader. Each meeting has involved very positive, constructive, face-to-face discussions, long private discussions between two people who know how to work together, who know our countries have common interests. And while we may not always agree on every matter, and that's natural between friends, I think the relationship the two of them have and that has been passed on to their advisors is one of partnership.
So they can work together?
They do work together, and they will continue to work together.
You've been deeply involved with the U.S. policy and negotiations here in the Middle East. And I want to ask you about this administration's policies. It started with the freeze on settlements that went nowhere. Then they were talking about 3 months to reach a final solution that, of course, never happened. Then President Obama said he was opposed to the Palestinians going to the UN for a state, and that actually might happen. And then you've disappeared, actually. So where's the credibility and leverage of U.S. policy here?
Well, you've described many of the challenges, and we never had any illusions that this is a very difficult situation, a conflict that has gone on for many decades between Israel and the Palestinians, between Israel and its other Arab neighbors, does not lend itself to quick solutions. We understand that. We also believe, and the President has made clear from the beginning of his term, that it's strongly in our interest as the United States and strongly in the interest of our allies, including Israel, to make every effort to resolve the conflict. And so, as recently as May 19th, the President articulated some principles in his speech at the State Department that he believes can form a firm foundation for the resumption of negotiations. Since that time, we have not disappeared. We've been in close communication with the Israeli government, with the Palestinian Authority, with our quartet partners, to try to devise a formula that will enable us to have negotiations.
What's going to happen in September? What's going to happen?
Well, we are working to avoid the outcomes we don't want to see by finding a formula that will allow the resumption of negotiations. We have made very clear to the Palestinians and to many others that we oppose unilateral attempts to try to resolve final status issues at the United Nations. This is a conflict that can only be resolved through direct negotiations, face-to-face, between Israelis and Palestinians. And so it's incumbent upon us to continue to try to devise that formula. That's what we're working on.
Is there any plan for the President to visit Israel anytime soon?
Well, he hopes to visit. I know he'd very much look forward to it. He enjoyed very much his visit here during the campaign in 2008. I don't have any information about a visit at this time. That's something, obviously, I would...
During your tenure?
I would certainly very much enjoy a visit by the President. I just don't have any information about when it might occur.
What would you consider your best achievement here as an ambassador?
I think the most important goal I have is to really deepen the connections between the American people and the Israeli people. And that's why, as I told President Peres, I intend to travel widely throughout this country. I intend to meet Israelis of all walks of life and exchange views with them. I want to listen to their views, to their assessment of Israel's place in the world and its future, of the relationship with the United States. I want to share the United States perspective on these questions. And I think as we build those relations, it provides an even stronger, even firmer foundation for this relationship going forward.
I thought you'd say peace in the Middle East.
Obviously, our commitment, as I mentioned earlier, to achieving peace and an end to this conflict between Israel and Palestinians is a high priority. As we also talked about, it's very difficult, and so we'll keep working hard on it through the difficulty.
Mr. Ambassador, I thank you very much. I wish you success. Thank you.
you.
Toda rabba.
Okay, toda rabba.